Development of technology played an important role in the history of humanity, but at the same time turned environmental problems into reality of the day. Development of oil industry in Azerbaijan Republic caused environmental problems in Absheron Peninsula. As a result of insufficient attention to environmental problems in the period of former USSR, present generation shall take responsibility for the solution of current problems in Azerbaijan Republic. After gaining by Azerbaijan political and economic independence, national leader Heydar Aliyev had paid close attention to solving environmental problems. The Item 39 of Constitution of Azerbaijan Republic was developed under the leadership and supervision of Heydar Aliyev and adopted in November 12, 1995, stipulates: everyone has rights to live in healthy environment. Among CIS countries, such article was first introduced into Constitution of Azerbaijan Republic. By the decree of national leader Heydar Aliyev, number 758, dated on August 19, 1998, the rules on implementation of the law of Azerbaijan Republic on radiation safety of population came into force. The President of Azerbaijan Republic, Ilham Aliyev, who is the successor of national leader Heydar Aliyev, is also paying particular attention to solution of environmental problems. Under the care and leadership of the President, several environmental problems have been solved. In the complex plan of measures for 2006-2010 regarding improvement of ecological situation in Azerbaijan Republic, number 1697, dated on September 28, 2006, approved by the President of Azerbaijan Republic, Ilham Aliyev, is mentioned. Several important measures shall be implemented in the country for improvement of ecological situation and prevention of negative factors that affect environment, among which are cleanup of wastewater, reconstruction of sewerage networks, reclamation of polluted soil, creation of forests and green areas, and implementation of other measures for recovery of natural quality of water basins, air and soil on the foreshore of Caspian Sea, on Absheron Peninsula and the other regions of the country. This order of the head of state constitutes an action plan for the Ministry of Emergency Situations of the Republic of Azerbaijan. At a conference devoted to results of the first year of implementation of the State Program for Social-Economic Development of Baku City and its surrounding settlements in 2011-2013, in June 2012, the President of Azerbaijan Republic, Ilham Aliyev, said, "The process of removal of residues of iodine production plant, which is located in Baku, has been started. It was a very dangerous enterprise. It's not functioning, but the waste around it are harmful. The funds are allocated in the budget. These funds are intended for the Ministry of Emergency Situations. They are working now. The territory of the iodine production plant will be completely cleaned by the end of the current year." President of Azerbaijan Republic, Ilham Aliyev, June 20, 2012. Project on rehabilitation of industrial sites of Baku iodine plant, located in Sabuncu and Surakhane and contaminated by oil, oil products, charcoal with natural radionuclide content and other wastes. The preparation stage of the project has been started on May 2012. In order to implement the project in accordance with international requirements in cooperation with International Atomic Energy Agency, international experts were invited to Baku by the Minister of Emergency Situations at all stages of project implementation. Local specialists have also visited different foreign countries to learn their experience in that sphere. Thus, representatives of International Atomic Energy Agency, together with local specialists, prepared terms of reference, safety requirements, and other technical documentation and normative documents. According to agreement protocol, rehabilitation works in the area were confided to ECOLAND LLC. This project, which has been carried out under regulatory supervision of the State Agency on Nuclear and Radiological Activity Regulation of Ministry of Emergency Situation, is considered as a second such project in the world experience and as a first project which was funded from internal resources of implementing country. Baku iodine plant ecological problem. Contamination of the territories of Baku iodine plant in 30th, 90th years of last century became the main environmental problem in Absheron Peninsula. The Baku iodine plant was established in first half of the 20th century, 1934, on the base of Ramana iodine production site. Surakhane production site was put into operation in 1956. According to technology applied in the plant, iodine was extracted from oil-filled water pumped out together with oil and collected into the raw lakes after separation. Activated coal is used as adsorbent in the production process. Together with other substances, isotopes of radium and their decay products collected in the coal. Coal either had to be utilized or disposed in accordance to standards and rules being enforced in former USSR period. But in spite of this, processed coal accumulated in production sites. Surakhana and Ramana production sites of Baku iodine plant are located in vicinity of settlements with the same name and seriously threatened health and welfare of people. Investigations carried out on each production site of BIP by Institute of Radiation Problems of National Academy of Sciences of Azerbaijan Republic and specialized combined isotope of the Ministry of Emergency Situations of Azerbaijan Republic have shown that dose rate of gamma radiation here mainly falls in the 1560 microrengen hours interval and reaches up to 670 microrengen hour in some points. Total area of the plant's territory is 32.5 hectare, with Ramana side of 4.3 hectare and Surakhana side of 28.2 hectare. Working group of Ministry of Emergency Situation determined that it's impossible to delineate the sites by isolines due to uneven contamination of waste by natural radionuclides. It's also impossible to separate waste of different categories of radioactivity level. The working group of Ministry of Emergency Situations came into a conclusion that all waste shall be considered as radioactively contaminated and requiring disposal. Purpose of this large-scale project is to carry out rehabilitation works taking into account the provision of unlimited usage of territories of Surakhana and Ramana of Baku iodine plant in future. Tasks of the project are construction of disposal facility for radioactively contaminated waste, disposal of radioactive waste in the constructed facility, transportation of soil contaminated by oil and oil products, bitumen and crude oil to defined places and collection, demolition of industrial buildings, devices and equipment, transportation of processed material and construction debris to defined places and collection, transportation of non-radioactive soil, domestic waste, and asphalt concrete cover from production sites to defined places and collection, restoration of territories of the contaminated production sites by recovery of bioproductivity and providing to intended users. About contaminated sites. 3 surface and 1 underground collection places were discovered in Ramana production site. Beside this, coal remains with 1.5 meters thickness were determined in the close areas to the raw lake. Total volume of radioactive contaminated waste to be removed and disposed was 48,000 cubic meters on Ramana site. 10 surface collection places of coal as well as 2 places with coal mixed with brickbats and garbage and 3 underground collection places were discovered on Surakhana site. Total volume of radioactive contaminated waste to be removed and disposed was 160,000 cubic meters on Surakhana production site. Production sites were intensively contaminated with oil and oil products as well. 16 areas with total assessed volume of 3,000 cubic meters of crude oil were detected on Surakhana production site. Beside this, total assessment of soil with percolated crude oil and bitumen gave 25,000 cubic meters. Soils with percolated crude oil were spread along the raw lake and had a volume of 3,500 cubic meters. Determined amount of oil products in contaminated by oil areas of both sides was in 171-650 mg per 1 kg interval, what exceeds several times determined background pollution of industrial areas on Absheron Peninsula, which is up to 100 mg in 1 kg. Laboratory analysis of water samples taken from wells and pits and analysis of groundwater samples from both production sites showed that groundwater was also polluted by oil and oil products. Some dumps of coal looked as iceberg with underground part. First, processed coal was disposed to existing or specially made pits, and after their filling, dumping of coal caused to form hills. These hills, with the influence of wind, rain, etc., spread around and caused the pollution of environment. Firstly, demolition of buildings, devices, equipment affected by contamination has begun. Transportation of produced secondary materials and construction debris to the defined place and collection were carried out after radiometric checkup according to the requirements of standards and rules enforced by mechanical method. Soils polluted by oil and oil products, bitumen and crude oil, asbestos tubes from underground communications with radioactively contaminated scale-on walls were transported and disposed in near-surface disposal facility constructed for disposal of radioactive waste. Heavy technique is used for transportation of identified soils, domestic waste, and asphalt concrete cover to define places. One of large-scale works was construction of the facility for disposal of contaminated by radionuclides waste. The selection site is characterized by smooth relief, intensive formation of ravines, washing of surface, and swamping according to natural tendencies characterize the relief of the site, due to the ascribing of the waste from iodine production to low-level waste category with long-lived radionuclides according to the classification of International Atomic Energy Agency. It's required to undertake special safety measures during their collection and transportation and to dispose them in a specially constructed near-surface disposal facility, which is located at sufficiently long distance from living areas. During construction of facility on the site adjacent to the territory of Special Combined Isotope of Ministry of Emergency Situation, the following works were carried out. Digging a trench with mechanized method in the third category soil, leveling and pressing of bottom of trench, leveling and pressing of surface of rehabilitated soil, renovating of the area of disposal facility, and electrification of the territory. Bags with coal were placed in trenches by layers, which were covered by betonite layer of 20 cm thickness and pressed. According to recommendations of international experts involved by International Atomic Energy Agency, transportation of coal with natural radionuclide content was performed using special big bags, which prevented spread of coal particles to the environment. Surfaces of all transportation means leaving the sites were cleaned on specially constructed washing stations. During transportation of all kinds of waste, traffic safety on roads was ensured by escort of State Traffic Police of MIA. All measurements during the contamination activities were carried out by modern instrumentation. Use devices allowed implementing all needs types of radiation measurements for safety ensuring and control of the contamination process. Human factor is the basis of quality work, and regular trainings were carried out for employers who took part in rehabilitation works by ECOLAND company. Before leaving area, according to existing rules, all workers went through sanitary premises where they were decontaminated in showers and passed contamination measurement devices. Daily measurement and registration of individual exposure doses of workers were carried out during whole period of decontamination, transportation, and disposal activities. Services, public hearings, final assessment of conducted works, acceptance of rehabilitated areas, video recording, composition and demonstration of the current situation of areas, on the organization of evolution of rehabilitated areas by the experts of International Atomic Energy Agency were implemented by ECOLAND LLC. A separation wall with length of 480 meters, height of 2 meters, and width of 40 centimeters was constructed between artificial raw lake and plant territory in Ramana production site. Recultivation works were carried out in rehabilitated production sites, and sewerage systems of settlements were improved. Fertile soil was transported to the decontaminated sites. After beginning of the project, all transportation means were decontaminated and washed in accordance with requirements of standards and rules of radiation safety. New ecological parks were intended to build in rehabilitated areas. Thus, the areas exposed in the past to contamination and considered as dangerous became now ecological recreation centers. As mentioned by Ilham Aliyev, the President of Azerbaijan Republic, both new places will be constructed for recreation of peoples and ecological situation will be improved.